Welcome. I'm here again with 10 more vocabulary words from the book Vocabulary Power 3. Okay. As usual, I'm going to say the pronunciation, I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to spell the word so you can practice spelling at home, okay? So when I say the word, you can practice your pronunciation by repeating it, and also you can practice your spelling as I spell it to you, okay? Here we go. First word. This first word is attain. Attain. A-T-T-A-I-N. Attain. Attain. This word is a synonym of achieve. To achieve something. Okay, you have a goal and you are able to accomplish and reach that goal, to attain a goal, to achieve your goal. At this part of English, you probably know a lot of the basics. If you're watching a video at this level, you probably understand a lot of the basics already. And you might know how to say many things one way. At this point in your studies, you're starting to learn layers, different ways of saying the same thing. So for example, you may have already heard the word achieve or accomplish. Now you have another word that means the same thing, and you're building those layers with some diversity and variety in your speaking abilities and your understanding, okay? Now let's go to the next word, coherent. Coherent. C-O-H-E-R-E-N-T. Coherent. Coherent. All right. Coherent is a word that we use for something that for something that is easy to understand, or it's clear, it's logical, it makes sense. There's some consistency. Coherent. Okay? Something is sensible, it makes sense, it's coherent. So imagine you're telling a story. If you tell the story in an order, the beginning, the middle, the end, it's coherent, it's easy to follow, it's clear. But if you change it and you start with the end and later the middle and the beginning, and it becomes confusing for people to understand, it's no longer coherent. It might even be a little ambiguous, not clear, not easy to understand. Okay, but coherent is something that's clear, it's logical, it has an easy to understand way that it's being communicated. Number 3, evolve. Evolve. E-V-O-L-V-E. E-V-O-L-V-E. Evolve. Evolve. All right. Now, to evolve is something, a word that we use for something that develops gradually. It takes time. It's not an instant change. And it's the idea of growth or changing in some way over a duration of time, to evolve. You have probably heard this word used in its noun form in science and lots of other ways. But the verb itself is just to gradually change over a period of time in some way, to evolve. Okay? And usually we think of it in a positive connotation, a positive way of a positive growth, positive change over time. So maybe for yourself, you could be evolving in your language abilities, your ability to speak in English or even in your native language as you learn another language. You could be evolving. Or maybe even your ability to understand other people through learning a new language. And that takes time. It's not an instant practice, or an instant change. As you know, learning a new language is not instant. It takes time, a duration of time. Okay, number 4. This word is flexible. Flexible. F-L-E-X-I-B-L-E. Flexible. Flexible. Okay? This should be easy for the Spanish speakers to recognize this word. Same definition here, flexible. This is the idea of something that can bend, or it can change easily if it's flexible. For example, the way that you use your time. Maybe you have a schedule, but if you have a flexible schedule, it's easy for you to rearrange, to change, your schedule in some way, to make adjustments, to make changes, to be flexible. Or with your body. If it's easy for you to bend and change the shape of your body, you would be flexible. All right, next word, number 5 for today, fundamental. Fundamental. F-U-N-D-A-M-E-N-T-A-L. Fundamental. Fundamental. This also should be easy for the Spanish speakers. Something that is essential. It's at the base of something. We learned a word a couple weeks ago, if you saw the video, crucial, essential, fundamental. Okay, it's the base of something. It's necessary, fundamental. Let's go to the next word, number 6. The word is illustrate. Illustrate. I-L-L-U-S-T-R-A-T-E. Illustrate. Illustrate. Now, this word is used very often for drawing, to make a drawing or a picture of something. But we can extend that idea and expand that idea to also talk about the way we communicate. If you illustrate an idea with your words, you're creating an easy to understand image in the mind of someone else. So for example, these sentences that I'm giving you, or these explanations, are a way to illustrate the ways that we can use the words to demonstrate and give you an example, an idea, a representation to help you better understand something. So we use illustration for pictures or drawings. Okay, you can draw something and create an illustration, a visual representation of something, or you can illustrate ideas with your words or in some way. Okay, to represent an idea or a concept. Now, number 7, imply. Imply. I-M-P-L-Y. Imply. Okay? Now, this is actually a nice word for you to know. Like all the words, but this one especially is nice for you to know. It's a word that we use to express that the meaning of a message is not direct. This is to give a meaning indirectly. It's not direct. You're communicating indirectly. So you've said one thing, but with that message, there's really another message you're trying to communicate, to imply. So for example, imagine that you go home and all of the dishes are dirty, and your roommate or whoever you live with says, somebody forgot to wash the dishes. Well, if you are the only other person who lives in that house, they would be implying it's your fault. They didn't say that. They didn't say it's your fault. But if they said, somebody forgot to wash the dishes, they are probably thinking it was you. They are implying that it was you. Okay? Let's go on to number 8. Portion. Portion. P-O-R-T-I-O-N. Here we go. Portion. Like with some of the other words in the previous videos and in this video, this is another word for which you already have a concept probably, but we're building those layers. You're getting some variety in the language, different ways of saying the same thing. Portion is like a synonym of piece. Okay, you could have a piece of something or a separate amount of a bigger amount, and it's a portion. So for example, imagine you make a big pot of soup, and then you start to divide that soup and give it to different people. Each little cup of soup is its own portion. You separate one cup, that's for this person, that's one portion of soup. And then another cup for a different person, that's a different portion. They don't have to be the same, they don't have to be the same size. Like with a pizza, imagine you cut the pizza, but you cut it into different shapes or different sizes. All of those are different portions, different pieces. They can be the same, but they don't have to be. Or like a cake. Lots of times when you have a cake at a birthday party, they don't make all the pieces the same. They say, hey, do you want a big piece or a small piece? Do you want a big portion or a small portion? Okay? Next word, number 9. The word is random. Random. R-A-N-D-O-M. Random. Random. A few years ago here in the United States, this was a very popular word. Lots of people were using it, but many times I think using it not exactly in appropriate situations, and maybe overusing the word possibly. But yeah, this word was a very popular word a few years ago, used by many people for many different situations. But random really is something that's unplanned. It's something that you didn't expect to do, something that happened and you're not sure of the cause, or it seems like the cause, that there may not be a cause. You know, it's just something really unplanned, just happened and hard to explain why or where that came from. Random. Okay. It's like sometimes when there's a contest, you might use a computer to choose the winner at random, to just make a selection, and there's no preference or prejudice or reason why. Just the computer, goes through a list and picks one number. It's random. And number 10, sufficient. Sufficient. S-U-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. Sufficient. Sufficient. Okay. Another word that's really a synonym of a concept you probably have heard before. This word basically means to be enough. You have the amount you need for something. You have enough. It is sufficient. And I will end there. I think that's sufficient for today's video. 10 vocabulary words. I hope you enjoy and keep practicing.